name is Laura Dale Mattos née Van Hocht. I was born in Oakland, California, and resided on Clifton Street for 18 years. My parents were Ruth Marguerite Nelson and David Paul Van Hocht. The past 50 years, I've lived in Hayward, California, 46 of those in the same house where I raised my children. One of the earliest and fondest memories is of attending Golden Gate International Exposition, otherwise known as the World's Fair. It was held on Treasure Island in San Francisco Bay. It is etched in my mind, even though I was only 3 and 4 years old, because for 8 months in 1939 and 6 months in 1940, I generally visited once a week, sometimes even twice. My parents, and particularly my great-uncle Gus, August Gerhardt, who owned the Phoenix Photo Engraving in Oakland, they took me all the time. We rode a key system streetcar or train, and then the ferry from the Oakland Mole to the Treasure Island. The Mole was the terminus for the overland trains and the streetcars and those trains. Occasionally, we drove across the Bay Bridge, but mostly it was a ride on the ferry. The fair and all its splendor fascinated me. There were swan boats on the beautiful Lake of Nations, where you could pedal around under bridges and around the lake. There were even swans floating by. The elephant trains allowed you to travel around to the numerous halls and exhibits. They were comprised of a strong passenger car towing strings of tally-ho wagons with awnings and open seats. One evening I rode atop an elephant. It was amazing. With my Uncle Gus, I spent hours viewing the Southern Pacific and Santa Fe trains in the Vacationland building, which covered 4 acres and was 900 feet long and 200 feet wide. There were automobiles, railroad cars, along with a Pullman sleeper people could wander through. The National Automobile Club had a map of the West, where you could push a button and the route to the Grand Canyon would light up, or to Los Angeles, plus other various destinations. In hindsight, Vacationland was an advertiser's dream. Walking around at night was spectacular. Each area was named, and the architect was gigantic. Courts of the 7 Seas, Flowers, Pacifica's Moon, Tower of the Sun, buildings, fountains, and huge statues were lit with multicolored lights. It was a magical time. Treasure Island also had an air base where Pan American clipper ships landed on San Francisco Bay, then flew off to the exotic Far East, or Orient as it was called. It later became a United States Naval Air Base and staging area for the war in the Pacific during World War II. In recent times, the island has been turned over to the city of San Francisco. The original curved administration building is a museum now and has 3-story tall murals depicting events through the years. It is the first one on your right as you drive onto the island. When I'm acting as a tour guide for out-of-town visitors, for a first view of the city, San Francisco, I stop off at Treasure Island to share the grand vista of the waterfront and skyscrapers along with Angel Island, Alcatraz, and the Bay. It is still a magical place.